Good evening, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and I bring you all the new pendulum effect monsters that got revealed for Zarc. I'm super happy to say that I called it right. I knew that we're going to get some new Zarc cards, and here we are, we got them. Let's go over these real quick, and then go on to the other news that we got in the next video. So first things first, yeah, we have new Zarc cards from Dimensional Overlords. That's the new set that's coming out for the OCG. And I called it. I told you we'll get Zarc cards as soon as they revealed that we're getting reprints of all the Supreme King cards. I knew that Zarc was going to get its own archetype, and here we are. The Supreme Kings and the Supreme Kings in general are just now a pendulum archetype. It's its own deck, which is absolutely insane. So let's go over this. So first things first, we have Supreme King Kate Magician, Spellcaster Pendulum Effect Monster, Light Level 7, 2500 attack, Defense 2000. Can only use the second effect of this card once per turn. Supreme King Zarc you control can't be banished by opponent's card effects while this card's in a pendulum scale. And then during the main phase, if this card is destroyed, and if you do, place one Supreme King Gate pendulum monster from your hand, deck, or pendulum zone except itself, which is pretty insane. The next effect is a monster effect. First and second effect of this card once per turn. If you have Supreme King Gate or another Supreme King Gate Magician from your pendulum zone, you can send one Pendulum Dragon XYZ Synchro or Fusion monster from your hand, deck, or extra deck to grave. If you do, special summon this card from your hand. And then if this card is special summon, add one card that mentions Zarc from your extra deck to your hand, except the Spellcaster monster, which is pretty insane. Next, we have a Pendulum Tuner monster. This is the Pendulum Dragon Supreme King Dragon Loot Worm. Level 4, light, 1200 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use the first effect of this card once per turn. Its pendulum effect is, if this card is pendulum summoned, or my bad, if a monster is special summoned while you control Zarc and another pendulum monster, you can special summon this card. And then you choose one other pendulum monster control. Its attribute and level of this monster becomes the attribute and level of the other. And then its monster effect is, if this card is no more special summon, add one face-up Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. And then immediately after this resolves, you get to XYZ or Synchro summon a Supreme King Dragon monster, which is pretty insane. And then if a card is destroyed while this card's face up in the extra deck monster zone, you just add it to hand, which is amazing. Then we have a new Zarc retrain, which is pretty cool. It's a light, level 13 attack, defense 4000, attack 4000, pendulum scale, pendulum scale 13, which is pretty amazing. Also, it's a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's a 12 scale, which is interesting. So this Zarc retrain has two effects. Its pendulum effect is, if you have two cards in your pendulum zone, you can special summon this card, then shuffle that other pendulum monster into the deck, and then if it was returned to the face-up extra deck, or just extra deck in general, special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then basically, it requires all the materials as Zarc, but you can also tribute. Actually, if a face-up card is your extra deck, you must special summon, or by tributing a level 12 Zarc, which is pretty insane. If this card is special summon from the extra deck, you can place one pendulum monster from your deck into the scale. If this monster is destroyed, place it into the pendulum scale. It's just a free 4000 beat stick, and basically it helps you get fodder for Zarc, which is pretty cool. We also have Pendulum Evolution. This, you can only use the first, second effect of this card once per turn. It's a continuous spell. You can shuffle one pendulum monster from your hand, and then add one pendulum monster with 2500 attack with a different name than that card to hand. And then if this card is special, and then the second effect is, if summoned, if you special summon a face down pendulum monster from your extra deck, it has to be face down, except this from this deck this turn, you can activate this effect immediately after this card's pendulum summon a monsters. So it's double pendulum summon, which is cool. I don't know why you're pendulum summoning face down, but hey, whatever you do. I mean, you can target one Supreme King Zarc you control. It can make attacks on all monsters once each this turn, which is pretty insane. And then it also has a new quick play spell, Light Wing and Dragon. It's a quick play spell. You only activate this card once per turn. During the main phase, add one Supreme King Dragon or Supreme King Gate monster from your deck to hand. And if you control Supreme King Zarc, you can special summon it instead, which is pretty insane, just a rota for the archetype. And then we have 2 trap cards. If you control Supreme King Zarc, activate one of these effects. This is Miracle the Supreme King, a normal trap. Destroy one Zarc you control. And if you do, special summon one Odd Eyes monster or one Light Supreme King Zarc from your deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Then place one face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck into its Pendulum zone. You can also set one quick play spell directly from the deck. You only use each effect once per turn. And then we also have Soul the Supreme King Celestial King. Normal trap, you only activate this card once per turn. You can tribute one spellcaster monster with 2500 original attack. Fusion summon one Zarc from your extra deck by banishing materials from hand, deck, extra deck, field, or graveyard as material. But its effects are negated, and unless at least one of each of the Pendulum Dragon, XYZ, Synchro, and Fusion monsters were used, or what's called are currently banished, I believe its effects are negated, which is overall really, really solid support. So overall, these cards are absolutely cool. They're insane. They're red-pilled. And yeah, I think these cards are amazing. Hope you all enjoy. Don't do anything stupid. And I'll see you all next one. Bye-bye.